Mr. Hurd, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Director Brennan, I would like to join my colleagues in thanking you for your years of service, some of which we overlapped in the CIA, and I hope you are enjoying not getting late calls at night. And you look fresh. My first question, and I apologize in advance for asking some questions about what did you know when at certain times. I have difficulty remembering what happened this morning, but nonetheless, I'm going to continue. In 2016, was collecting intelligence on foreign entities' attempts to influence our election a collection priority?
And when was that?
Last year in 2016.
It was a collection priority, yes.
It was.
Yeah.
So does that fall under the broader counterintelligence collection priorities of the CIA?
Yes, counterintelligence as well as Russia collection efforts.
What is ops intel?
It's operational intelligence that is not maybe formally disseminated as intelligence to the community, but it is something of operational value to, for example, an investigation.
So prior to the full accounting that happened in December 2016 of we're going to do a complete intelligence assessment, was there any ops intel that was used or changed into intelligence actually disseminated to the broader community during that assessment?
There was an effort to make sure that all relevant intelligence that needed to be tapped for the drafting of this intelligence assessment was made available to the appropriate individuals, yes.
So is it your understanding that there was information that was in operational channels that wasn't available to the entire analytical community and that was included in that December, ultimately the report that was dated January 6th?
I think and again I would defer to the folks at the agency, that classified intelligence report is exceptionally well documented and sourced. And just because something is produced as an intelligence report, it doesn't mean that it goes to everybody in the community. There are recipient lists for that, and depending on the sensitivity of the information, it is either broadly disseminated or very narrowly disseminated.
One of the issues that this committee is focused on is figuring out what was the U.S. government's response to these Russian active measures, and what do we need to do to protect ourselves and our allies in the future. And one of my concerns is, did we escalate soon enough, quickly enough? Did we notify those that were being targeted soon enough? And did we recognize the intelligence or the information that we had access to at the time that it was actually collected? And so my question is, knowing what you know now, would you have directed the CIA to do things differently?
You know, I've asked myself that question. I feel as though we tried to do everything that we could to fulfill our responsibilities, which was to learn as much as we could about the Russian efforts, because we didn't know, again, the extent of it. And so we had to be very careful about what we did so that we would protect certain capabilities in the community as a whole, as well as to try to assess what was happening. Kept the executive branch seniors informed, National Security Council informed, the Gang of Eight informed. And so, 20/20 hindsight is always, I think a lot maybe clearer to some folks. That's what I think this committee and the other committee and the Senate is going to take a look at. Was it perfect? I don't think anything in this world is perfect, but I think we tried to do the best job that we could.
So is the intelligence community prepared or ready to counter covert action directed against us, or direct measures, as the Russians like to call that? how do we develop a strategy to counter covert action against us? And I only have 7 seconds, so I know that's difficult.
And
for
that's
you.
why it's easy for me to say is refer to closed session as well as to current agency and other officials.
Good copy. I yield back, Chairman.